Joined a dating reality show. The production team told me to call my ex. So I called that hot-tempered, Feng crazy, top-tier celebrity with 0 bad reviews online. The call went through. I said calmly, "Hello. Are you dead or what?" The whole room went dead silent. The showrunner's face cracked. 3 seconds later, a low laugh came from the other end. "Zhang Feng. Miss me. My name is Zhang Feng. 26 years old. Freelance photographer. More accurately, I was an unemployed photographer. Even more accurately, an unemployed photographer so broke I was practically eating dirt. So, when Heart Signal's production team offered a 30,000 yuan appearance fee per episode, I signed before I even finished reading the contract. It was a dating reality show, after all. Wasn't it just sitting there chatting, eating a few meals, and pretending to feel sparks? Easy. I even brought 3 suits ahead of time. All of them were Zhaoming's. Wear them carefully, damn it. I still couldn't bear to put on this Armani one myself. When Zhaoming handed me the clothes, he looked like he was sending off his daughter for her wedding. Relax. I'm not going to do manual labor. Going on a dating reality show is even more dangerous than manual labor. Zhaoming looked me up and down. With that mouth of yours, you'll be roasted online by episode 1. I didn't take it seriously. On the first day of filming, I only realized after I got there. The cast for this show was a little absurd. 8 contestants. For men and for women. Among the male contestants was a guy named Jingchen, a hot young actor, with 30 million followers. The kind of smile that made teenage girls scream. The moment he walked in, the other 3 female contestants went wide-eyed. As for me, I was quietly eating the sandwich the production team had prepared in the corner. I was already here. Might as well eat back the catering budget. The first round was an icebreaker game. The showrunner held up a card, smiling like a fox. "Next, please call your ex. Put it on speakerphone, and let everyone hear your story." The atmosphere instantly turned awkward. Some people laughed awkwardly. Some looked troubled. Jingchen, though, stayed perfectly calm, holding a glass of red wine. Looking so calm you would think every one of his exes had parted on good terms. When it was my turn, the showrunner looked at me. "Zhang Feng, your ex is a woman with a terrible temper." I said, "Oh, how terrible are we talking?" The showrunner perked up. "Last time I forgot her birthday. She threw my camera off the 5th floor." The whole room laughed. The showrunner urged me on. "Then call her. Let us see it." I pulled out my phone and scrolled to a number saved as My Little Menace. I hesitated for a split second. We hadn't spoken in 2 years, and I had no idea if she'd changed her number. Whatever. I'd already decided to call. The call went out. Beep. The 4th ring. She picked up. I said. My tone was as calm as if I were asking about the weather. "Hello. Are you dead or what?" The air froze. I could feel everyone around me stop breathing. The showrunner's smile froze on his face, like someone had hit the pause button. Jingchen froze, the wine glass still in his hand. The female contestant across from me stood there with her mouth open. She did not even notice the sandwich falling onto her dress. Silence. Absolute silence. 3 seconds. Just as the showrunner was about to signal the crew to cut the call, a low laugh came from the other end. It was very soft, with a hint of laziness, a hint of surprise, and something else I could not quite name. "Zhang Feng." The instant that voice sounded, I noticed the showrunner's pupils suddenly dilate. The cameraman's hand jerked. One of the female contestants sucked in a sharp breath. Because of that voice, there was probably no one in China who did not recognize it. Lin Zhu, a top-tier celebrity, best actress, best female singer, the nation's sweetheart, 80 million followers, famous for her terrible temper. Yet somehow she had no negative press online. The last paparazzo who crossed her was said to have switched careers and started selling roasted sweet potatoes. And me. I had just asked if she was dead. On a dating reality show being live-streamed nationwide, with speakerphone on. "Miss me." Her voice came through the phone, carrying a smile. I glanced at everyone's faces around me. The showrunner's face could no longer be described as cracking. It had fallen apart completely. Jingchen spilled red wine on his white shirt, and he did not even notice. The female contestant beside him had her mouth open wide enough to fit an egg. I cleared my throat. "Number. I was just checking whether you were still alive. After all, with that kind of workload, dying of exhaustion would not be surprising. You care about me. I care about the compensation for my camera. You still have not paid me. You still remember something from 2 years ago. 56,000. Cannon 5D4. The one you threw off the 5th floor. I remember it crystal clear. There was silence on the other end for 2 seconds. Then she laughed out loud. Fine. I'll have my assistant transfer it to you. Anything else? Nope. If not, why are you calling? The production team made me call. You're on a dating reality show. MMHMM. Broke. There was another silence. Then Linzu's voice suddenly changed. With that familiar, dangerous sweetness I knew all too well. Which channel? Why are you asking? Nothing. Linzu. Do not start trouble. When have I ever started trouble? Like the time you threw my camera off the building. You deserved it. I hung up. The entire set was so quiet I could hear the air conditioner humming. The way everyone looked at me was like they were watching me on death row. The showrunner was the first to speak, his voice trembling. Feng. Your ex is Linzu? Best actress Linzu? There is only one Linzu. You call Linzu my little menace. She has a horrible temper. If I do not call her my little menace, what am I supposed to call her? The showrunner turned to the cameraman. The cameraman shook his head furiously, meaning, I do not dare air this part. The showrunner looked over at the producer again. The producer was already on the phone. His voice was kept very low. Legal. We might be working late. Jingchen finally noticed the red wine stain on his shirt, but by then he no longer had time to care. He looked at me. His expression was as complicated as a calculus problem. Feng, he said, keeping his smile perfectly professional. You and Linzu know each other. Ex. Yes, we broke up 2 years ago. His smile stiffened for a second, then it snapped back into place. That is quite a coincidence. To bring her up in a setting like this. I glanced at him. This guy's smile is so fake. That night, the production team held an emergency meeting. They discussed whether to air the segment. The final decision was, air it, because if this did not air, it would be unforgivable to the ratings gods. The show aired at 8 p.m. At 9, my phone blew up. Zhao Ming called me 17 times. He sent 43 messages. I opened the first one. Feng, are you crazy? Your ex is Linzu. You asked Linzu if she was dead. Are you still alive right now? Linzu's fans are already digging into you. You're #1 on the trending topics, man. Dating reality show male contestant asked if his ex is dead. Second trending topic. Linzu's ex-boyfriend. Third, who is Feng? You're done for. Completely done for. I turned off my phone. I took a shower, then went to sleep. It was not like I could get any poorer. When I woke up the next morning, I found that my Weibo followers had jumped from 300 to 800,000. The comments were split into 3 camps. First camp, who the hell is this guy? What makes him worthy of dating Arzuksu? Second camp, oh ha ha ha, he asked if she was dead. I am dying of laughter. What kind of savage line is that? Third camp, girls, calm down. This guy looks kind of handsome, actually. I scrolled through to more, then logged off. My phone buzzed. Linzu's assistant sent me a message. Mr. Zhang, Sister Zhu asked me to tell you. The camera and wallet have been transferred. Please check your delivery. Also, Sister Zhu said, she is not dying. Thank you for your concern. Transfer received. 56,000 yuan. Damn, she actually paid. I should have asked for 100,000. When I got to the filming base, the atmosphere was clearly different. Yesterday, everyone still treated me like I was invisible. Today, the way everyone looked at me had changed. The female contestant Lin Qin walked over with a cup of coffee. She was smiling sweetly. Feng, did you sleep well last night? Pretty well. Did you see those comments online? A lot of people are roasting you. Did not look. You have amazing mental strength. She moved a little closer. But seriously, what is going on between you and Linzu? How did you two meet? I glanced at her. This is an interrogation. The camera is rolling. College classmates. I said, that is all. Then, why did you break up? She threw my camera away. That's all. A 56,000 yuan camera. Then throw one yourself. Lin Qin was left speechless. She gave an awkward smile and walked off. Jingchen came down from upstairs. He had changed into a clean white shirt. His hair was styled to perfection. He saw me. He walked over with a smile. Feng. Morning. The internet was pretty lively last night. Linzu's fans did not give you a hard time, did they? It was fine. Good. He patted my shoulder. The pressure was just right. After all, That is all in the past. You came here to find someone new, right? Right? His hand rested on my shoulder. His smile was warm. His tone was sincere. But his eyes were not smiling. He's marking his territory. I took his hand off my shoulder. Your shirt collar is crooked. He looked down. It was not crooked. When he looked back up, I was already far away. Today's segment is date selection. Each of the male contestants prepared a date plan. The female contestants choose the one they want to go on. Jingchen set up a private screening. Another male contestant prepared a Michelin 3-star dinner. A third prepared a yacht trip out at sea. Then it was my turn. The showrunner looked at my plan card. His expression slowly warped. Feng, are you sure? Your date plan is. He took a deep breath and read it aloud. A price haggling contest at the market. The whole room went silent for 3 seconds. Then the female contestants burst out laughing. Jingchen's mouth twitched. Are you serious? The showrunner asked. Serious? I said. A market shows a person's practical skills better than anywhere else. A woman who can haggle 10 yuan worth of produce down to 5 makes a great wife. Ling Qian laughed so hard she nearly doubled over. Are you looking for a boyfriend or a business partner? Is there a difference? The final selection results. Jingchen's private theater was chosen by the female contestants. The Michelin dinner was chosen by 1 female contestant. The yacht trip got no pics. My market date was chosen by 1 female contestant. The girl who picked me was Zhang. She had a round face. She had dimples when she smiled. She looked easy to get along with. After she made her choice, the other female contestants looked at her like she was out of her mind. She shrugged. I think it is pretty interesting. I'd never bargained at a market before. The showrunner whispered to the producer beside him. This pair's footage could either blow up. In the afternoon, Zhang and I went to the market. The camera followed behind us. The uncles and aunties passing by all turned to look. Feng. Zhang was a little nervous. I really do not know how to bargain. No problem. You've got a knack for it. I'd been broke my whole life, 26 years and counting. This is my only survival skill. I led her over to a stall selling tomatoes. And Annie called out warmly. Handsome. Want some tomatoes? They just came in today. Fresh. How much per pound? 5 yuan a pound. I turned to look at Zhang. Go on. Try it. Zhang cleared her throat. She gathered her courage. Annie, can you make it a little cheaper? The auntie laughed. Miss, it is already very cheap. Zhang turned to look at me. She looked completely helpless. I sighed and stepped forward. Annie, would for yuan do? We'll buy more. No. 5 yuan is the lowest. Annie, look. These tomatoes are getting a little soft. It does not look very fresh. What do you mean, soft? Feel it. It is rock hard. Then, what about this one? This one has a crack. That one does not count. Do not pick that one. 4.5 yuan. I am buying 3 pounds. 4.80. 4.50. 1 cent more, and I am leaving. You young people. Fine. 4.5 yuan it is. Zhang watched from the side, stunned. You are amazing. That is not amazing. That's a skill you pick up when you're broke. She laughed. Her dimples sank deep. We walked around for an hour and bought a bag of vegetables. Zhang went from flustered at the start to knocking 2 yuan off the fish seller's price on her own. She improved fast. After bargaining, she turned to look at me. Her eyes were sparkling. I got it knocked down. She looked like a grade schooler who had just scored 100. Not bad. I nodded. You've got talent. On the way back, she walked ahead carrying the bag. Her steps were light. The camera filmed from behind. I could already tell this footage would edit together well. Then my phone rang. It was an unsaved number. I answered. Feng. It was Lin Zhu's voice. She did not pass it through her assistant. She called me herself. My steps faltered. Zhang looked back at me. What is wrong? Nothing. Go on ahead. I walked over to the side and lowered my voice. What is it? That show of yours. I watched it. How did you see it? It has not aired yet. I have my sources. You were watching unreleased clips. I'm the investor. Watching my own show. Does that count as snooping? I froze for a second. You invested in this show. I just invested last month. I had not even joined last month. Is that so? Her tone was light, almost careless. What a coincidence. I gripped the phone, and a chill ran down my back. Lin Zhu, what exactly are you trying to do? Nothing, she said. Just wanted to let you know. Just behave. The call ended. I stood at the entrance to the market, holding a bag of tomatoes at 4.5 yuan a pound, and suddenly felt that this 30,000 yuan appearance fee might not be so easy to earn. That evening, back at the filming base, the production team arranged a group dinner. 8 contestants sat around one table. The atmosphere looked harmonious on the surface. Jingchen sat across from me. He actively served food to the female contestant beside him. His smile was perfect. Today, he took the female contestants to a private cinema for his date. Apparently, he was a perfect gentleman the whole time. He was considerate to the smallest detail. When the female contestants came back, their eyes were sparkling. Jingchen is so thoughtful. He handled our popcorn the whole time. He even remembered that I said I like suspense movies last time, and picked one especially for me. I lowered my head and shoved rice into my mouth. What does that have to do with me? I saved 3.5 yuan today. Zhang sat beside me. She said quietly, "Thanks for today. I had a lot of fun." "No problem. Did you bring the vegetables back with you?" "I did. I'm planning to make tomato and eggs tomorrow. Don't forget the sugar. It tastes better that way." "You like it sweet. I like the cheap stuff." She laughed again. Halfway through the meal, the showrunner suddenly walked in. He had that gleam that said he was itching to make trouble. "Everyone, we are adding a segment at the last minute. Everyone put down your chopsticks. We have received a special." He paused. "Suggestion from the investors. They said it would boost the show's impact. Starting tomorrow, a mysterious special guest will be joining us." My chopsticks stopped midair. "A special guest? Who?" Lin Keen asked, curious. "Top secret for now." The showrunner smiled meaningfully. "But I can give you one hint. It is a female contestant, and she is very famous." When he said that, his eyes flicked toward me. Just for an instant, but I caught it. I set down my chopsticks. Linzu. It had to be Linzu. That crazy woman. I pulled out my phone and texted Linzu under the table. "Are you coming?" A reply came 3 seconds later. "Coming where?" "Cut the act. I don't know what you're talking about." "Linzu, if you dare come, I'll quit right now." "Quit what?" "The show." "Then quit. The penalty is 300,000 yuan. Can you afford it?" Send a reply. Linzu's fans are already digging into you. Your Weibo followers went from 200 to 200,000. Top trending. Dating show contestant asks if his ex is dead. Third trending. Linzu's ex-boyfriend. "Bro, if you are dead, give my Armani back." I did not reply to him, because I was staring at another message. A WeChat message from the contact saved as my little menace. Linzu, what is the name of the show? Linzu, which platform is it on? Linzu, if you do not tell me, I will look it up myself. Linzu, I found it. Linzu, who is that guy next to you in the white shirt? Linzu, why does he keep staring at you? Linzu, Zhang Feng. Linzu, are you pretending to be dead again? I turned my phone face down on the table. It was over. The next day's filming. The atmosphere was as eerie as the sea before a storm. The production team's original plan was the heart choice segment. Everyone would write down who they most wanted to date. Then the one-on-one dates would begin. But before filming started, the showrunner pulled me into a corner. Zhang Feng. The showrunner rubbed his hands together, his expression bouncing between conflict and excitement. After last night's segment aired, the ratings exploded. 3 of the top 10 on Weibo were ours. The related topic on Diane passed 200 million views. What does that have to do with me? Of course it does. You are the biggest draw on the show now. All the viewers are asking, what exactly is going on between you and Linzu? How did you break up? Can you get back together? I looked at him. No, do not rush to a conclusion. The showrunner kept smiling. What I mean is, could you mention Linzu more often on the show? Mention Linzu more often? You want me to use Linzu for buzz? Not for buzz. It is enriching the content. Do you know who Linzu's manager is? I do. Sister Wang. Famous in the industry. Last time, because of one press release, she made the editor-in-chief of that outlet fly in person, 3,000 kilometers away, just to apologize face-to-face. Are you sure you want to go through with this? The showrunner's smile stiffened. He patted my shoulder. Then let's just let it happen naturally. Filming started. The heart choice segment. The 4 female contestants wrote down the person they most wanted to date. When the results were announced, I almost spat out the water in my mouth. 4 votes. I got 4 votes. A full sweep. Me, who had been treated like background noise yesterday, became the center of attention today. The showrunner was grinning like he had won the lottery. For the first time, Jingchen's expression management cracked. The smile was still on his face, but his eyes were not smiling. Feng. He walked over with the coffee in hand. His tone was deliberately casual. Impressive. A full sweep. Looks like being Linzhu's ex is working out pretty well for you. Probably. I did not look up. I was adjusting the camera settings. But seriously, how did you and Linzhu meet? I've been in this industry for years, and I have never heard that she had a boyfriend. College classmates. College. He raised a brow. Wasn't Linzhu at the Central Academy of Drama? You were too. Yeah. Photography department. Then why did you not stay in the industry? With your connection to Linzhu, a casual hello would have been enough. I do not like making small talk. I looked up at him. His fingers tightened slightly around the coffee cup. What are you talking about? Female contestant Chen walked over. She linked her arm through mine. Her smile was sweet. Feng. For today's one-on-one date, will you choose me? Either way. What do you mean, either way? Chen pinched my arm. If you talk to me as coolly as you do to Linzhu, I could stand you for life. I looked down at her fingers digging into my arm. If those nails got any sharper, I need a rabies shot. The one-on-one date was at a French restaurant. Chen and I sat across from each other. She talked a lot, from zodiac signs to blood types, from personality tests to tarot cards. One listened while flipping through the menu. Feng, what is your zodiac sign? Capricorn. Oh my gosh, I knew it. Capricorn guys are all secretly pretty intense. What is Linzhu's sign? Scorpio. Scorpio and Capricorn do not mix at all. She threw my camera off the 5th floor. That was definitely a hot one. Chen laughed so hard she nearly fell over. She slapped the table so hard the knives and forks jumped. But as she kept laughing, she suddenly leaned closer. She lowered her voice. Feng, seriously, do you still like Linzhu? My hand stopped on the menu for a second. The foie gras is good. Do you want to try it? You are changing the subject again. And this black truffle pasta. 280 yuan a plate. The production team will cover it. No loss there. Chen puffed out her cheeks and glared at me. I did not answer that question. It was not that I did not want to answer. I could not answer it. What happened on the day we broke up 2 years ago? I remember it very clearly. It was not some melodramatic scene. There was no third person, no misunderstanding, no betrayal. Linzhu stood at the door of her new apartment. She handed me my last box of things. She did not lose her temper that day. She did not throw anything. Her eyes did not even redden. The last thing she said was, Feng, you are too tired being with me. You are too tired. I took the box. I stood there for a long time, wanting to say something, my mouth opening and closing, but nothing came out. Then the door closed. Inside that box were 3 spare lenses of mine, 2 hoodies, a toothbrush, and a note she had written by hand. There were only 4 words on it. Stop staying up so late. I still have not thrown that note away. It is tucked into the lining of my wallet. But this kind of thing is not something you say on a dating reality show. Besides, it would not help. After the date ended and I returned to the villa, I noticed the mood in the living room was a little off. Jingchen was sitting on the sofa. Across from him was another female contestant, Lin Man. The two of them were chatting away happily. But when they saw me come in, Jingchen suddenly raised his voice. Man, seriously, I think if you join a dating reality show, you should be sincere. Some people come with other motives. They use an ex's fame to boost their own buzz. That kind of behavior is pretty uncomfortable. Lin Man looked at me a little hesitantly. I walked past the sofa, picked up the orange juice from the coffee table, and took a sip. Feng, what do you think? Jingchen turned and looked at me. What do you mean? Do you think coming to a dating reality show is about finding true love? Or about something else? His smile was perfectly polished, but there was nothing but probing in his eyes. I finished the orange juice and set the glass down. I came for the money. Jingchen, Lin Man. The showrunner in the control room was speechless. If there had been live comments, they would probably already be flooding the screen. Well, damn. If the production team paid, I came. I wiped my mouth. True love, and all that. Does it exist? If it does, can it count as overtime pay? The smile finally vanished from Jingchen's face. This was probably the first time he had met someone who would not follow the script at all. In his mind, Someone being accused of riding the buzz should be scrambling to explain themselves, cut ties, and prove their innocence. But I did not, because he was right. I really did come for the money, and I really did not care what he thought. That kind of honesty was probably more infuriating than any rebuttal. Jingchen lifted his coffee and took a sip. He said nothing else. That night, episode 2 aired. The trending topics exploded again. Feng, I came for the money. The most honest man on a dating reality show. The stunned look on Jingchen's face. Another message from Zhang came in. Bro, you have 800,000 followers on Weibo now. A bunch of brands are asking for your endorsement rates. Do you want to consider taking an ad? With your current persona, a rebellious boyfriend persona would absolutely blow up. I was just about to reply when WeChat popped up with a new notification. Linzu, that Jingchen next to you. I know him. Linzu, a notorious manipulative attention seeker in the industry. He looks harmless on the surface, but he pulls dirty tricks behind the scenes. Linzu, stay away from him. I stared at the screen for 5 seconds. Feng, how do you know Jingchen is next to me? There was no reply. 3 minutes passed. Linzu, I heard. You are a top-tier celebrity best actress with a schedule booked through next year. And you still have time to hear about a dating reality show's seating chart. I did not call her out, but a bad feeling suddenly rose in my chest. By the 3rd day, that feeling became reality. When I got up that morning, the production staff rushed into the villa, looking wildly excited. Big news. The showrunner cleared his throat, trying hard to keep the grin off his face. After careful consideration, the production team has decided to add a special guest this week. He paused. His gaze swept over everyone's faces, then landed on me. That look was pure pity. Linzu. The toast in my hand dropped to the floor. King's scream stabbed straight through my eardrums. Lin Man's phone fell into her cup of milk. Jingchen's face twitched, but he hid it well. As for me, I pulled out my phone. Open WeChat. Feng. Linzu. Feng. Are you out of your mind? Linzu. The kind of sick that comes from missing you. I flipped my phone face down on the table. I should not have come. That 30,000 yuan was my emergency burial fund. The day Linzu arrived, the production team brought in 3 times as many camera crews as usual. For vans were parked at the villa entrance. Security had blocked off the entire street. I stood behind the curtain, watching the spectacle outside. This kind of grand entrance. Was this a dating show or a military parade? The other contestants were waiting in the living room. Each had a different expression. Chen kept touching up her makeup, putting on 3 layers, then taking it all off and starting over. Lin Man changed outfits for times, and finally picked the most expensive dress. Another female contestant, Zhou Ying, was so nervous she was chewing her nails. Jingchen, on the other hand, looked calm. He sat on the sofa flipping through a magazine, but he was holding it upside down. He had not even noticed. The door opened. When Linzu walked in, every sound in the living room died out. She was wearing a white shirt, with light-washed jeans underneath, and sneakers. Nothing special. But when the sunlight hit her face, the compact powder in King's hand slipped free. It hit the floor, then shattered into bits. She did not even look down. I understood her. Not because I still had lingering feelings for Linzu, but because Linzu had this damnable ability to stand there and make you feel like the oxygen in the room was only enough for her to breathe. Everyone else felt surplus to requirements. Back in college, she could walk around in her school uniform with no makeup on and cause traffic accidents. That is not an exaggeration. Someone actually rode a bike straight into a utility pole. That person was me. Linzu's gaze swept across the living room, like a king inspecting her realm. When it reached Jingchen, it paused for 0.3 seconds. Her lips lifted slightly. That kind of, oh, so you're here too, as if it were nothing. Jingchen finally turned his magazine right side up. Then she saw me. Her expression changed. From that world-class indifference, it turned into, how should I put it? Like a cat spotting a fish it had not seen in 2 years. A fish it thought had already escaped. Feng, you've gotten thinner. Looking broke, she stared at me for a few seconds. Then she suddenly smiled, showing a tiny fang. My heart skipped a beat. It's been 2 years. How does that little fang still have this much bite? The showrunner hurried out to save the situation. Teacher Linzu. Welcome. Do you have any special expectations for coming on our show? Linzu pulled her gaze away from me and turned to the showrunner. Her smile turned into polished TV politeness. Expectations. Nothing in particular. I heard this show is pretty interesting, so I came to try it out. The showrunner wiped his sweat furiously. Then on this dating reality show. Do you have a type that makes your heart flutter? Linzu tilted her head and thought seriously for 3 seconds. What type? The showrunner pressed. Linzu looked at me again. The kind that still owes me 56,000 yuan. The whole room went dead silent. I closed my eyes. Linzu, if you came here just to collect that 56,000 yuan, then you really did not need to. I can pay you in installments. 10-year plan. For 166.66 yuan a month. Interest extra. The production team arranged for Linzu to stay in the biggest room on the second floor. It had originally been Lu Jingchen's room, and Lu Jingchen was moved into the small room next door. He kept a perfectly polished smile the whole time. But when he moved his luggage, the suitcase wheels left 3 gouges in the floor. The afternoon was free time. I hid on the rooftop, wanting a little peace and quiet. I did not even get 3 minutes of it before the rooftop door opened. Linzu came over carrying 2 cups of coffee and sat down beside me. She slid 1 cup toward me. An Americano. No sugar. She said, "You still like it this way, right?" I looked at the coffee. Why did you come on a dating show? To film the show. Your schedule is booked through next March. You just wrapped a movie last week. And next month you have a global fan tour. Yet you ran off to film a dating reality show. Did your agent agree to this? Sister Wang objected. I blocked her on WeChat. Right now she's relaying messages through my assistant and saying she wants to quit. For the 17th time. I took a deep breath. Linzu, what exactly do you want? She did not answer. Just lifted her coffee and took a sip, while staring at the distant skyline. The afternoon sun fell across her profile. The shadow of her eyelashes fell across her cheekbones. It's been 2 years. Her voice was very soft. And you never called me. Didn't you say being with me was too tiring for you? So, you really just walked away and never looked back. You told me to go. I told you to go. And you went. If I told you to go to hell, you'd probably go there too. I did not answer. She turned to look at me, and something flickered in her eyes. Feng, do you know what makes me the most angry about you? What? You never try to hold me back. Never. You handle everything by yourself. And you never say you need me. As if, to you, I could just not exist and it would be fine. You make me feel like, in your life, I'm optional. My fingers tightened around the coffee cup. Back then, what? My mouth opened and closed. I was silent for 5 seconds. The Americano I bought then tasted better than this. Lindsay stared at me. 3 seconds. 5 seconds. Then she punched my shoulder. Feng, can you ever just finish a sentence in one go? That hurts. I barely used any force. Then try me. The rooftop door was pushed open again. Lu Jingchen stood at the doorway, with a perfect smile. Sorry to interrupt. I came up here for some air. I did not know you were here. I noticed his gaze linger on Linzu's slightly red-rimmed eyes for a second, then moved to me, and his smile deepened. Feng, you really are lucky. Ms. Linzu personally brought you coffee. MMHMM. I lifted the coffee and took a sip. There is one thing I am not sure I should say. Linzu turned around and looked at him. That look instantly switched from a girl with slightly red-rimmed eyes to best actress. If it's not worth saying, don't say it, she said. Lu Jingchen's smile froze for a second. 1 second was enough. It was visible. The muscles at the back of his neck tightened, and his smile went from natural to stiff, then from stiff back to natural. The whole thing took less than 2 seconds. He changed the subject. Then I'll head down first. You to talk. After the door closed, Linzu turned back to me, and her expression changed again. See, I told you he's a manipulative attention seeker. He just happened to pass by the rooftop for some air. The monitoring room is on the 1st floor. He definitely followed after seeing me go up there. Why do you care about him? I don't care about him. I care about you. Don't get too close to him. I'm not close with him. I'm not close with anyone. What about me? I lowered my head and drank my coffee. Your coffee cup is upside down. Linzu said. You're drinking the bottom of the cup. I turned the cup round. I am done for. 2 years clean for nothing. That night, the episode aired. The news that Linzu had dropped into the dating show directly crashed the Weibo servers. Linzu joins Heart Signal. Boom. Linzu and her ex on the same stage. Boom. Linzu owes me money. Boom. Feng held his coffee cup upside down. Boom. A message from Zhao. Bro, you've got 3 million followers now. I drafted your brand partnership quote. Take a look. Attachment. Image. I opened it. And look. He quoted me 500,000 yuan for one ad. Feng. Are you insane? Who would pay 500,000 to hire a washed-up photographer? Zhao, you're not a washed-up photographer anymore. You're Lin Zhu's ex, and the whole country's favorite shipping target. Your market value is different now, get it? Zhao, and that line about you being broke went trending. A bunch of instant noodle brands are asking if they can get you as a spokesperson. Feng. Unbelievable. Zhao, there is also a camera brand. They want to shoot an ad. The concept is, it can be thrown from the 5th floor and still not break. I turn off my phone. The show entered its 4th day. After Lin Zhu arrived, the whole dating show ecosystem changed completely. Before, everyone focused on who was falling for whom. Now the question was how many times Lin Zhu had looked at Feng today. The on-screen comments had turned into a shipping research lab. Someone even tracked how long Lin Zhu's gaze lingered, down to the millisecond. And I became the most contradictory person online. Half the internet said I was the perfect ex. No begging after the breakup, no clout chasing, just living with rare clarity. The other half banged on the comments every day. Lock them together, lock them together, lock them together. I did not want to be either one. I just wanted to quietly finish filming my 10 episodes, take the money, and leave. But Jingchen would not let me stay quiet. The morning group activity was making breakfast. 8 of us were split into 2 teams for the contest. Lin Zhu was on my team without any surprise. I fried eggs, and she rolled up her sleeves and headed for the stove. You handle the vegetables. You know how to fry eggs. Then cut your vegetables. As I lowered my head to slice cucumbers, I heard a sharp sizzle beside me. Then Lin Zhu screamed. Oil had splashed onto the back of her hand. I reacted on instinct and grabbed her hand, and turned on the cold water to run it over the burn. She sucked in a breath, frowning at the little red spot on the back of her hand. Are we still making this or not? I asked while running the water. Keep going. It was just a drop of oil. You can take a hit, but you cannot take heat. Who are you calling tough? I said nothing, and kept her hand under the water for another 30 seconds. I only let go after I was sure she was fine. When I looked up, I saw everyone staring at us. Zhang's eyes were bright as to searchlights. The showrunner in the control room had probably died on the spot. The cameraman had shoved the lens right at our hands, less than 20 centimeters away, and Jingchen was standing behind the stove opposite us, his hand freezing mid-whisk. Half the egg went into the bowl, and half spilled onto the countertop. He looked down at the egg on the counter, and drew in a small breath, then put his smile back on. Feng, you're awfully attentive to your ex. If you get burned, run it under cold water. Common sense. But your reaction time, he said with a smile, his tone loaded with meaning, does not sound like how you treat an ex. That was a clever line. On the surface, he was praising how fast I reacted, but really he was hinting, you still haven't let go. In the context of a dating show, someone who has not moved on from an ex is not being honest about being here. His earlier attempt to say I was chasing clout had failed. So he switched angles. Lin Zhu spoke up. Jingchen, your eggs are all over the counter. Jingchen looked down, and his smile finally cracked. He hurriedly grabbed a cloth and wiped the counter. His movements calm, but fast. The kind of pace you use when you're trying to stay elegant on camera, but are already cursing inside. After lunch, the production team set up a truth or dare segment. It is the classic emotional minefield of every dating show. The spinner pointed to Lin Zhu first. She picked truth. Chen asked, Lin Zhu, did you come on this show for Feng? The whole room held its breath. Everyone wanted to ask that question. They just did not dare say it out loud. Chen had the biggest guts. Or rather, she wanted the answer most of all. Lin Zhu picked up the lemonade in front of her, took a sip, and set the glass down. She pressed her lips together. Not entirely. What percentage is that? You've used up your question. You only get one. Chen pouted. The second spin pointed to Jingchen. He chose truth too. I asked him a question. Jingchen, have you offended anyone in the industry? He froze for a moment, then smiled. What does that have to do with a dating show? It's truth or dare. Anything can be asked. You said so. His smile tightened for a split second. Everyone has friction while growing up, but I try to stay on good terms with everyone. What about Chen Haoran? I said. Jingchen's smile disappeared. He looked like someone had hit his power switch. Chen Haoran, an actor who debuted alongside Jingchen 3 years ago. They were very close during the talent show. Everyone called them the Titus brothers. Then Haoran was suddenly dragged through the mud by the entire internet and quit the industry. The official line was personal reasons. But there were rumors in the industry that those scandalous dirt leaks came from Jingchen's team. How did I know? Zhao Ming told me. Zhao Ming was just a minor agent, but he was as well informed as a walking Weibo feed. Besides, Chen Haoran was one of the photography models I knew in college. I shot his graduation portfolio. He came to see me once after leaving the industry. We drank all night. He did not say a word. But when he left the next day, he left me one line. Feng, bro, stay away from Jingchen. He's most dangerous when he's smiling. Jingchen stayed silent for about 4 seconds. Too long. On a variety show, 4 seconds of silence is enough for viewers to make 100 reaction memes. Chen Haoran is my friend. His voice steadied again. I was sorry to see him leave the industry, but that was his personal choice. It had nothing to do with me. I nodded. If you say it has nothing to do with you, then fine. My tone was flat, but everyone there heard how heavy that line was. You say it has nothing to do with you, but whether anyone believes you is another matter. Linzu sipped lemonade beside me. The corner of her mouth curved a little. The spinner turned a third time. It pointed at me. I chose dare. Jingchen asked. Dare. Send Linzu a message right now. Let us see the chat logs between you two on your phone. This was a trap. If the chat logs were to intimate, people would say you two were putting on way too much of a show. You came on this dating show to stir up buzz, didn't you? If the chat logs were to cold, people would say we'd broken up 2 years ago. And what was the point of meeting again on a dating show? Either way, someone could spin it. I pulled out my phone, opened WeChat, found Linzu's chat thread, then turned the screen around for everyone to see. The whole screen was Linzu doing all the talking. I had fewer than 10 replies total. Each one was 3 characters or fewer. The latest one was, Linzu, you're ghosting me again. Feng, no reply. The whole room burst out laughing. Chen King was laughing so hard she had tears in her eyes. Even Lin Man, who usually kept herself composed, was covering her mouth. Linzu's expression changed. Not anger. It was that kind of, the suffocating feeling of being exposed in public. She turned to look at me. Her eyes could kill. Feng, you're done. It's dare. Your idea. Jingchen was laughing too. But the smile looked forced. This result clearly was not what he expected. He thought he'd catch some flirtatious interaction between me and Linzu, so he could make a story out of it. Instead, all he saw was a one-sided chat history where I got completely steamrolled. That only made the audience think. Linzu really cared about this man. She cared enough to chase after him and keep texting without any pride. As for Feng, either he had truly let go, or he was just hanging on by sheer force of will. Either way, it was great shipping material. That night, when the episode aired, the top 10 trending topics got completely taken over. Feng chat logs. Linzu doing all the talking. Jingchen got outplayed. Feng asks about Chen Haoran. Under the last topic, Chen Haoran's fans from 3 years ago came out of the woodwork. The comments were full of finally, someone said it. Jingchen owes Chen Haoran an explanation. Go, Feng. Message from Zhao Ming. You have 6 million fans now. Your Weibo super topic is up. It's called Words Fail Me. That clip of your truth answer has more than 100 million views on short video platforms. A screenwriter wants to talk to you. He wants to base a script on your experience. I did not reply, because Linzu texted first. Linzu. Feng. Linzu. You did that on purpose today. Linzu. Showing everyone our chat logs. Linzu. You made me look like a clown. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. I paused for a long time. Feng. Maybe look at the logs first and see who looks like the clown. A top-tier best actress sent more than 100 messages to a broke photographer. He replied with fewer than 10. Who do you think the audience will find embarrassing? Linzu. Question. Feng. You are not embarrassing. They'll just think you're genuine. There was a long silence on the other end. Linzu. You did this on purpose? Feng. Linzu. You set me up. Feng. Helping you. The fans on the trending topics are all saying you're cute. Another 3 minutes of silence. Linzu. Feng. I hate you. Feng. Linzu. I miss you too. I stared at the last 3 words for 15 seconds. Then I shoved my phone under the pillow. I rolled over. I closed my eyes. I couldn't sleep. Day 5. Things started taking a weird turn. During a break in the morning shoot, a staff member slipped me an envelope in private. No name on it. Inside was just a printed screenshot. It was a chat log between Jingchen and some WeChat account. The gist was, Jingchen asked the person to help dig up scandalous dirt on Feng. Anything would do. Preferably the real reason Feng and Zhu split up. The juicier, the better. The other person replied. Found it. This guy was as clean as a blank sheet of paper. The only thing on him was that Zhu threw a camera at him 2 years ago. He didn't even file a police report. Jingchen's reply was, then invent something. I put the screenshot away, folded it into fourths and tucked it into my shirt pocket. Make it up? Fine. Go ahead, make it up. I'll wait. At noon, the production team arranged an outdoor shoot. We went to a sea of flowers outside the city. 8 of us split between 2 cars. Zhu got into my car. It was just me, Zhu, and a camera operator. The camera operator sat in the passenger seat. The camera pointed at the back seat. Zhu sat beside me, looking out the window, and stayed silent for 10 minutes. You didn't sleep well last night. She didn't turn her head. Her voice was very soft. My dark circles must have given me away. Okay. Okay means you didn't sleep well. Feng, you are impossible. If you say okay, it means bad. If you say so, it means you're about to die. I was with you for 2 years. I've cracked your code ages ago. I didn't answer. Are you thinking about what I said last night? She finally turned to look at me. Which one? Stop pretending. I looked at her. She'd done light makeup today, but there were dark shadows under her eyes no concealer could hide. She hadn't slept well either. Zhu, I said, you came on this show. Not just for me, and not just to film the show. You have another motive, don't you? Her eyes widened slightly for a second. What do you mean? Jingchen, you said he was a manipulative attention seeker. You told me to stay away from him. Is there something between you and him? She looked away, then back out the window. The silence stretched even longer. 3 years ago, she said, her voice flattening out. Haoran came to me before he quit the industry. He wanted me to say a fair word for him. He'd gotten hold of some evidence that Jingchen's team had hired paid trolls and spread scandalous dirt, but it wasn't solid enough. He needed someone with real clout to back him publicly. And then I didn't help him. I looked at her profile. At the time, I was also under intense public scrutiny. I just won Best Actress. The whole internet was saying I didn't have the talent, that I was propped up by money. Sister Wang said this was no time to wade into muddy water. I listened to her. Her voice was so calm. It didn't even sound like she was talking about herself. Half a month later, Haoran quit the industry. He posted on Weibo. He said, thank you to everyone who helped me and everyone who didn't. When I came across that Weibo post, I was filming a crime scene. The director said it was the peak of my acting career. She paused. They didn't know I wasn't acting in that scene. The car stayed quiet for a long time. The camera operator sneaked a look at the indicator light. It was on. We were recording. So you came on the dating reality show, I said slowly, because you wanted to use this chance to repay a debt from 3 years ago. Not entirely, but not entirely untrue either. She tugged at the corner of her mouth. If I, Zhu, owe a debt, I'll pay it myself. With what? What is he doing now? Can't you tell? I thought about it. Has looking for scandalous dirt on me. If he can't find any, he'll make it up. Zhu snapped her head around. There were knives in her eyes. How do you know? I took the paper folded into fourths out of my shirt pocket and handed it to her. She unfolded it and read it for 3 seconds. Her face darkened. Then she crushed the paper in her fist. Her knuckles went white. People like that. Her voice dropped, like she was holding something down. 3 years, and he still uses the same tricks. That's how he went after Haoran back then. First, dig up dirt. If there's nothing to find, make it up. Once it's fabricated, by paid trolls to spread it. By morning, it's all over the internet. By the time the person involved reacts, an explanation is useless. The public has already formed its first impression. So, what's your plan? Wait for him to make a move, then hit back. With what? The evidence from 3 years ago wasn't solid enough. You said so. If it wasn't enough 3 years ago, that doesn't mean it won't be enough now. She looked at me. After Haoran left the industry, he kept quietly gathering evidence. He found a former employee of Lu Jingchen's team. That person had the full transfer records for the paid trolls. But he needed a trigger. A chance to make Lu Jingchen reveal his hand. I leaned back in my seat and stared at the roof. So the dating show was that chance. You came here because you knew Lu Jingchen would be here too. You want to push him into destroying himself in front of the whole country. Linzu said nothing, but her silence was answer enough. What about me? I asked. What? In your plan, what role do I play? Your ex, your shield, or bait to make Lu Jingchen strike first? Her expression cracked for a split second. Very briefly. But I saw it. You're not bait. But you knew. Head come after me. Silence. You knew before you came. That head turned the spotlight on me. Because I'm your ex. I'm the easiest target for him to use. So, when you told me on WeChat to stay away from him, it wasn't to protect me. I was afraid that before your plan even started, I'd be taken down first. Linzu's lips trembled slightly. Zhang Feng. Am I right? The car stopped. We're at the flower fields. Linzu didn't answer my question. She pushed the door open and got out. After taking 2 steps, she stopped again. She didn't look back. You're 80% right. Then, what about the remaining 20%? I did want to see you. She walked off without looking back. Her ponytail flicked once in the wind. I sat in the car, watching her back. This woman, after 2 years, was still this slick when she played people. She just tucked that last shred of truth into the crack of a lie. So, you couldn't even get mad. I sighed and got out of the car. The flower field shoot was for you to take a photo of the person who made your heart race most. The other guests were all frantically taking pictures of each other with their phones. I carried my Canon, not the one that got thrown down the stairs, but the new one I bought later by scraping and saving, and found an angle by the edge of the flowers. Linzu stood in a patch of golden blossoms, with her back to me, head tilted up, watching the clouds. I raised my camera. In the viewfinder, her white shirt filled with wind, her hair lifted. The sunlight left a soft halo around her. The moment I pressed the shutter, I thought of college. Sophomore year. The small garden on campus. Linzu skipped class to come find me. She was still in costume, boots clacking as she ran across the grass. Her skirt caught her foot, and she went down hard. When I hit the shutter, she was sprawled in the grass, swearing. That photo later became the one with the most likes in my graduation portfolio. The professor said, the subject of this photo is not the person, is a kind of vivid, unfiltered life force. Linzu was so angry she translated the professor's words into plain speech. You mean I fell with a lot of vitality? I laughed, but Linzu in front of me turned around, seeing me holding up the camera. She froze. Then she smiled. Not her public smile, and not her best actress smile. It was an overdone grin, with one little fang showing, eyes curved into crescents. The shutter clicked again, sneaking a shot of me. She came over and rose onto her toes to look at the screen. Your face is public property. That doesn't count as sneaking a shot. Zhang Feng, don't move. One more. She punched the arm holding my camera. The photo blurred. You owe me. Pay what? You pay me 56,000 first. You still bringing that up? Lu Jingchen walked over from the other side of the flowers. He watched us roughhouse. His smile perfect. His steps easy. Zhang Feng, you really know how to take photos. He stepped closer, his tone friendly. Could you take one for me too? Sure. From this angle. Make the purple flowers the background. He took his spot, posing like a magazine cover, leaning in just so. His chin lifted slightly. His eyes were smiling. I raised my camera. The instant I hit the shutter, a bee landed right on the tip of his nose. Lu Jingchen's eyes flew wide open. His mouth fell open. Both hands started slapping wildly at the air in front of him. Smack, 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 smack. I fired off 4 shots in a row. Perfect. A 4-shot burst. Everyone was meme-worthy. Got it. I put my camera away. I'll send them to you later. Lu Jingchen rubbed the nose he had slapped red himself. He couldn't keep smiling anymore. Could you pick the best one for me? Don't worry. Each one is different. They each have their own charm. Linzu was laughing so hard beside us she had to crouch down. Her shoulders were shaking. Back at the villa, there was a secret vote that night. Everyone anonymously wrote down the contestant they least wanted to keep dealing with. When the results came out, Lu Jingchen had gotten 3 votes. I got 0. Lu Jingchen looked at the results, still smiling, but his fingers tapped 3 times against his pants leg. That was the rhythm of someone who wanted to strangle a person but had to hold back. That night, back in my room, I opened my phone. Linzu. That photo. Zhang Feng. Which one? Linzu. You know which one. Zhang Feng. The B one. True. I'm pretty happy with that one myself. Linzu. Zhang Feng. Linzu. Mine. Zhang Feng. What is it? Linzu. Send me the original file. I sent the original over. Resolution, 6000 by 4000 pixels. Memory usage, 23.7 megabytes. 5 minutes passed. Linzu. You still take the best photos of me. Zhang Feng. Because you have good bones. Linzu. You're complimenting me. Zhang Feng. I'm complimenting the camera. Linzu. Zhang Feng was speechless. I put my phone down. I turned off the light. In the dark, there was a small patch of light on the ceiling. It was the streetlight leaking through a gap in the curtains. I stared at that patch of light, thinking for a long time. The day we broke up 2 years ago, I had things I wanted to say. A lot of things. For example, you said I was too tired, but I never felt tired. For example, you thought you barely mattered in my life, but you had no idea that after you left, what my life turned into. For example, that note tucked in my wallet. I touched it every day. Not because I pulled it out to read it on purpose, but because every time I paid for something, my fingers would unconsciously find that spot. But I never said any of that back then. And I still haven't said it now. It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I have a flaw. The more important the words, the harder it was to say. Linzu was right. I never tried to hold anyone back. But what she didn't know was, I wasn't unwilling to hold her back. I was afraid that once I opened my mouth, I'd never be able to let go. And back then, I couldn't give her the life she wanted. A broke photographer, who couldn't even support himself, had no right to keep someone who shone that bright. But that was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I thought letting go was right. Now, I didn't know anymore. Day 7. The bomb dropped in full. That morning, I scrolled my phone, and the whole screen was the same topic. Linzu's ex, Zhang Feng, was exposed for scandalous dirt. I clicked it. An insider leak. I knew that playbook blindfolded. The story was this. Zhang Feng once secretly photographed female classmates in college and was disciplined by the school. Zhang Feng and Linzu broke up because he cheated. The other woman was supposedly a model. The real reason Zhang Feng joined the dating reality show was to ride Linzu's fame and make a comeback. He was the king of gold-digging freeloaders. Every line came with pictures, screenshots, chat logs, so-called witness testimony. At first glance, it looked convincing. But look closer, and the holes were everywhere. The school seal on that disciplinary file was pasted together. The color mismatch was obvious. The date in the cheating chat log was July 32nd, 2022. There is no July 32nd on any calendar. The 2 screenshots of the witness testimony showed one WeChat interface on Android and one on Apple, but the WeChat account was the same. The forgery was probably made by some bargain bin public relations team, but ordinary netizens would not look that closely. They only look at the conclusion, only at the emotion. The comments were already tearing each other apart. Typical scumbag. No wonder Linzu dumped him. So, disgusting. Using an ex for clout. Secretly taking photos. Why is someone like that even on TV? Some people were pushing back too. Wait, that seal color on the disciplinary file looks wrong. What parallel universe has a calendar with July 32nd? That level of editing is what you're selling as scandalous dirt. You're insulting my intelligence. But the pushback was quickly drowned out because a few influential people retweeted the leak at the same time. Their rates, Zhao Ming had told me before. One post could run from 50,000 to 200,000 yuan. I put down my phone. I wasn't panicking because all of this had been expected. Jingchen had made his move a full day earlier than I expected. Probably that 4-shot B sequence had rattled him too much. Linzu called. I answered before the phone had even rung for a second. I saw it. Her voice was packed with fury. I'm having Sister Wang send a cease and desist right now. Zhang Feng. I said, don't. Wait a little longer. Wait for what? Your reputation is getting ground into the dirt. What is a reputation worth? I only got any fame these past few days. It doesn't matter. It matters to me. Her voice changed all of a sudden. There was something trembling in it. Something I almost never heard. I won't let anyone use me to hurt you. Secretly taking photos. Cheating. Gold-digging freeloader. Who the hell dug this crap up from some sewer? Every photo you took in college was turned in as coursework. Which one was secretly taken? The cheating chat log was dated July 32nd. Do they think the entire internet is illiterate? Her breathing grew heavy. Feng, listen carefully. The only two things I, Linzu, have ever regretted in my life are these. The first was not helping Chen Haoran 3 years ago. The second was letting you go 2 years ago. I won't let the same thing happen a third time. There was silence on the other end for 6 seconds. She seemed to be waiting for me to respond. Say something, she urged. I still hadn't figured out what to say. Linzu, don't do anything yet. I have a plan. What plan? Do you trust me? There was silence again. When have I ever not trusted you? My voice went hoarse for a moment. Then wait, at most, 3 days. I hung up. Inside the villa, the atmosphere had turned ice cold. The other contestants' looks at me turned complicated. Some were sympathetic. Some were suspicious. Some wanted to stay far away from me. Jingchen came over, like she wanted to say something, but her agent pulled her away at once. Lin Man kept her head down the whole time and never looked at me. Zhou Ying secretly handed me a bottle of water, and then quickly walked off. Jingchen was the last one downstairs for breakfast. When he saw me, he gave me a smile full of concern. Feng, I saw what happened online. Ugh, online harassment is truly terrifying. Are you okay? I'm fine. If you need any help, just say the word. I still know a few PR people in the industry. No need. Thanks. I took a bite of my sandwich and looked up at him. What about you? Did you sleep well last night? Pretty well. Good. I was worried you'd be under too much pressure. After all, you got 3 votes for the person people least wanted to be around. That's pretty discouraging. His smile froze for a moment. By the way, I took another bite of my sandwich and spoke as casually as if I were talking about the weather. Those clickbait accounts were surprisingly synchronized when they reposted the dirt. They were posted at almost the exact same minute, like they had all been given the same job. You used to be a manager, right? You should be pretty familiar with this kind of operation, right? The air went silent for 3 seconds. Jingchen lifted his coffee cup. What do you mean? Just observation. I'm a photographer. I'm good at observing. He took a sip of coffee, set the cup down, and tapped the table twice. Feng, you know, sometimes when someone is wrongly accused, the best thing to do is clear your own name, instead of throwing dirt at someone else. You're right. I just smiled. But the smarter move is to make the one throwing the dirt admit it himself. Wouldn't you say so, Brother Jingchen? Jingchen fell silent. The look in his eyes shifted from concern to scrutiny, then from scrutiny to something else. Alertness. A rabbit had suddenly bared its teeth. Any hunter would know something was off. Filming continued as usual that day, but everyone knew it in their hearts. The undercurrent had already surged to the surface. The showrunner pulled me aside. Feng, the production team wants to know about those scandalous dirt posts online. Whether you need to respond to any of it. If you want to drop out of filming, we can arrange it. I'm not quitting. But, director, do you want ratings? He froze. Those scandalous dirt posts are fake. I have proof. But now is not the time to release it. Give me 3 days. In 3 days, your show's ratings. I looked at him. Will break records. The showrunner looked into my eyes. He probably saw something familiar, something he hadn't seen in an ordinary person for a long time. You're not an ordinary person, are you? He said quietly. I'm Feng, a broke photographer. Just a regular guy filming a dating reality show for a 30,000 yuan appearance fee. Fine. 3 days. After he left, I called Zhao Ming, help me get in touch with someone. Who? The former operations staffer on Jingchen's team. Named Zhang Fan. Chen Haoran has his contact information. Tell him to be ready to come forward and testify. 3 days later. You're going after Jingchen. I'm not going after him. He's gone after me more than once. Dude, Jingchen has money behind him. Are you sure you want to go up against him? He has money behind him. I have Linzu behind me. All right. The biggest backing of all. I hung up. I turned around and nearly ran into Jingchen. He was standing in the shadows of the hallway corner, and I had no idea how long he'd been there. What were you talking about? So secretive, he asked with a smile. I was telling a friend to pay me back. Oh, how much? Not much, but enough to wipe someone out. I walked past him. At the moment we brushed shoulders, I caught in my peripheral vision that his smile had finally vanished. For the first time since I stepped into this show, He didn't smile in front of me. That expression was fear. Day 8. The scandalous dirt had fermented online for a full day. Public opinion had hit its peak. The Zhang Feng get out of the entertainment industry topic shot to the top of the trending list. Some radical fans started flooding my Weibo with nasty comments. Some even went to the production team's official account demanding that Zhang Feng be eliminated. Zhao Ming sent me 30 messages in one day. The main point was always the same. When the hell are you going to fight back? Your fans can't hold on much longer. My fans, or more accurately, my former fans, were definitely disappearing at a visible rate. The Weibo followers that had climbed to 6 million just days ago had already dropped to 4 million. But there were still 4 million left, and those 4 million were the real ones. Linzu hadn't messaged me these past 2 days, but I knew she was holding back because Sister Wang posted on her moments. My artist told me to keep quiet. She said 3 days. If she still wouldn't let me send a cease and desist letter, I'd become the cease and desist letter myself. Jingchen had become unusually active these past 2 days. He suddenly got warm and friendly on the show, carrying bags for the female contestants, volunteering to do the dishes, making coffee for everyone. He was jockeying for position. While my reputation was collapsing, he was building himself up as the dating reality show's warm-hearted guy. Today's segment was the prep for final confession day. Everyone had to write a letter. Tomorrow, in the confession segment, they would read it to the person who made their heart race most. During a break in filming, Jingchen walked over to Linzu on his own and handed her a cup of hot chocolate. Linzu, you don't seem to be in a good mood these past 2 days. Is it because of Zhang Feng? Linzu looked up at him, but didn't take the cup. What do you think? I don't think you should let an ex affect your mood. You're Linzu, China's finest actress. You deserve someone better. Linzu stared at him for 3 seconds. In those 3 seconds, her expression shifted from cool indifference to scrutiny, like she was inspecting a specimen under an X-ray. Jingchen, she said, her tone flat. Do you think you're that much better than me? Jingchen smiled. I wouldn't dare say that, but at least I wouldn't make you worry. Linzu took the hot chocolate and set it on the table. Untouched, I wouldn't make you worry. Then when Chen Haoran was worried, what were you doing? Jingchen's smile shattered. This time, it broke completely. Not a crack. The whole thing fell away. The warmth in his eyes was like someone had yanked the plug. It went out. This has nothing to do with Chen Haoran. Whether it does or not, isn't for you to decide. Linzu stood up and looked down at him. Her voice was light, like she was stating an insignificant fact. Jingchen, let me tell you the truth. You're a pretty good actor, but you forgot one thing. What's that? I'm a best actress. Your acting skills couldn't even pass an audition in front of me. She turned and walked away. Jingchen sat there, his face draining and flushing in turns. The hot chocolate in his hand spilled, scalding his fingers. He didn't react at all. I watched the whole thing from the other end of the hallway. Linzu walked up to me. Her pace never slowed. As she passed me, she murmured, "It's the 3rd day. I can't hold it in anymore." That very night, I went through everything I prepared. The original audio files on the USB drive, notarized copies of the transfer records and the paid troll contract. Zhang Fan's written testimony. He was willing to appear on camera and testify. Chen Haoran's full personal account. And the screenshot from the envelope. The fabricated chat logs Jingchen had his men make up. When they couldn't find any scandalous dirt, I split all that material into 3 copies. One went to Zhao Ming, who handled the media. One went to Linzu's agent, Sister Wang, and she'd already pressed her thumbprint on the cease and desist letter. It was just waiting to be fired off. I kept one for myself. Tomorrow was confession day, the final chapter of the dating reality show. I sat at my desk. A sheet of stationery lay open in front of me. The show required everyone to write a confession letter. My pen hovered over the page. I hadn't written a single word. My head was full of Linzu over these past few days. Her profile on the rooftop, that over-the-shoulder smile in the sea of flowers, that song, Summer Wind, that I'd been playing for 2 years. I really do want to see you. I hate you. And I miss you. And that note from 2 years ago. Stop staying up so late. I took out my wallet and opened the hidden pocket. The note was still there. The corners of the 4 characters were already frayed. The ink had faded a little, but it was still readable. I closed my eyes. 2 years. I'd kept telling myself that letting go was the right thing. A poor man has no right to keep hold of someone who shines. But now, she flew 3,000 kilometers to come on a dating reality show. The kind where she told the entire audience she owed me money. She played the song we used to hear in college. She held back for 3 days while I was taking the heat, because I told her to trust me. Linzu was standing here. She had done everything she could. And me. What exactly was I waiting for? I picked up my pen. I wrote for a long time. Until 3 in the morning. Confession day. The villa had been set up like a banquet hall. Flowers and balloons. Warm lighting. And 8 cameras were set up. The showrunner said this was the last episode of the season. Livestream. The audience would vote in real time to pick the best couple. Livestream. Real time. Perfect. I wore Zhao Ming's Armani suit today. He even called to remind me. Don't mess it up. If you stain it, you can't afford to pay for it. Relax. After today, I'll buy you 10. That's some attitude. Fine. I trust you. The contestants entered one after another. Chen wore a red dress. Lin Man wore a white gown. Zhou Ying wore a sky blue dress. Lu Jingchen wore a custom black suit. His hair had been carefully styled. On the surface, he showed no sign of nerves. But I noticed the index finger of his left hand had been trembling slightly. That hand was in his pocket, as if he thought no one could see. I could see it. A photographer's eyes. Never miss a single detail. Lindsay came out last. She wore a champagne-colored evening gown. There was no jewelry on her collarbone. Her hair was braided into a simple side plait. The moment she stepped out, the whole room seemed to inhale more softly. So, did mine. The confession segment would go in seating order. Chen King went first. She walked to the center of the stage and unfolded her letter. She smiled at me. Zhang Feng, even though I know your heart isn't with me, these past few days with you have made me feel like you're a really good person. The photos you take are beautiful. You take everything you do seriously. I hope you'll be happy in the future, no matter who it's with. She winked at me and stepped off the stage. Applause. Lin Man read hers to Lu Jingchen. It was gentle and polished. Lu Jingchen smiled and thanked her. Zhou Ying read hers to another male contestant. She ran off the stage, red-faced. Then it was Lu Jingchen's turn. He walked to the center of the stage. His gaze swept over the whole room and finally settled on Linzu. Linzu. He cleared his throat. His smile was flawless. We've only known each other a short while. But, wait. I stood up. Every eye in the room snapped to me. The showrunner nearly threw his walkie-talkie behind the livestream set. Zhang Feng. This isn't your segment. A staff member whispered. I know, but there are things I have to say right now. I walked to the center of the stage, facing every camera, facing the tens of millions of eyes behind the livestream screen. I pulled out my phone and connected it to the venue projector. The first image appeared on the screen. A screenshot of chat logs Lu Jingchen had ordered them to invent if they couldn't find anything. Lu Jingchen's face, under the livestream cameras, changed color at a slow-motion pace. White. This was from 2 days ago. Someone anonymously handed it to me. I said, my tone is flat as a weather forecast. It contains a conversation between Lu Jingchen and a member of his team. In that conversation, he instructed the person to fabricate scandalous dirt about me, secretly taking photos, cheating, and being a gold-digging freeloader. Every single one was made up by them. The screen switched to the second image. Transfer records for buying paid trolls. Amount, account time, memo. All crystal clear. These transfers go back 3 years, all the way to the present. 3 years ago, the victim wasn't me. It was someone else. Some of you may not know him, but his name is Chen Haoran. The live comments exploded. Chen Haoran. I knew it. Someone's finally talking about what happened 3 years ago. The screen switched to the third image. Lu Jingchen's voice-to-text transcript. We have to take Chen Haoran down. Otherwise, I won't be the male lead in the next production. In black and white. Every word was like a knife, stabbing into a room so quiet you could hear hearts beating. Lu Jingchen's lips were trembling. He stood on the stage, his legs seeming to be filled with lead. The confession letter crumpled in his hand. His knuckles had gone white. This is forged, he said, his voice thin and shaky. The original audio file has been notarized legally. The file number is in the lower right corner of the screen. I said, you can have it authenticated. His eyes darted everywhere, like a trapped beast looking for an exit. He looked at the showrunner. The showrunner's face had turned dark with rage. He looked at the camera operator. The lens stayed locked on him. He looked at the female contestants. Not one of them looked back at him. Finally, he looked at Linzu. Linzu was seated. Her legs were crossed. Her fingers were interlaced over her knees. Her expression was as calm as if she were watching a Movie whose ending she already knew. Linzu, say something for me. There was a plea in Jingchen's voice. You know I'm not that kind of person. We've worked together. You know me. Linzu stood up. Her high heels clicked sharply against the floor. Jingchen, she said. Her voice was just loud enough. Just enough for everyone in the room to hear. 3 years ago, Chen Haoran came to me. He asked me to say a word for him. I didn't. It's my biggest regret. She paused. A fair word for him is 3 years late. But thankfully, it's here. Jingchen's legs went weak. He didn't drop to his knees. But he buckled. In front of the whole country. There was no hiding it. Then he jerked upright, as if he suddenly remembered he was live. He used his last ounce of strength to steady himself. But his hands were shaking. His lips were shaking. The light in his eyes shattered. You. His voice went hoarse. You weren't on it together. From the very beginning. No one wasn't on anything with you. I turned off the projector and slipped my phone back into my pocket. You fabricated lies about me. The scandalous dirt was your own handiwork. You bought the paid trolls yourself. I just helped blow the lid off. These pieces of evidence, where did you get them? From your own people. His last line of defense collapsed. His eyes flew wide. His pupils seemed to drop into ice water. Zhang Fan, he muttered. It was Zhang Fan. No one answered him. But his muttering, through the mic on his chest, was sent by the livestream feed to tens of millions of screens. The live chat had blown up beyond words. It was a nuclear blast. It's over. It's over. He said it himself. Who's Zhang Fan? Look him up. That's basically an admission, right? Jingchen is done for. Chen Haoran fans, assemble. 3 years. A full 3 years. Jingchen stood on stage, like a statue crumbling apart. His mouth opened. He wanted to say something, but no sound came out. The confession letter slipped from his hand and fell to the floor, washed out to a ghastly white by the lights. At last, he turned and walked away. After 3 steps, he stumbled and nearly fell. The camera followed his back. It kept following him until he pushed open the doors and walked out. The doors slammed shut behind him. The whole room went silent for 5 seconds. Then, Chen King started clapping. Zhou Ying joined in. The staff applauded. The camera operator clapped with one hand. Over the walkie-talkie, the showrunner was shaking. Keep the live stream going. This is the most explosive episode in variety show history. Don't stop. Keep going. Linzu didn't clap. She was looking at me. There was a glint in her eyes. I pulled the letter I'd spent all night writing from my pocket. Director, I said, is it my turn now? The room fell silent. The livestream chat instantly flooded with the same reaction. I walked to the center of the stage and unfolded the paper. Then I took a deep breath. Linzu watched me from below the stage. Her expression shifted from calm to tense. Her fingers were clasped on her knees. Her fingertips had gone white. Linzu. Her shoulders gave a slight shudder. The day we broke up 2 years ago, you said I was too exhausted. You said that in your life. I made you feel disposable. You said I never tried to keep you. My voice was steady, but my hands were shaking. The edge of the page had gone fuzzy under my thumb. You were right. I never tried to keep you. Not because I did not care, but because I cared too much. I was afraid that once I spoke, I would never be able to let go. And back then, I was just a broke photographer. I could not give you the life you wanted. You deserve someone better. So I walked away. Chen King covered her mouth with her hand. Lin Man was silently in tears. But over these 2 years, I understood one thing. I flipped the paper over. There was only one line on the back. I turned it around and showed her. Linzu's gaze fell on that line. She pressed her lips tight. Her nostrils flared. Then the tears fell. Silently. One drop after another, hitting the backs of her hands on her knees. The paper said, "Stop staying up so late. I am giving that line back to you. From today on, I will be the one saying it." I lowered the letter. Linzu, I'm not broke anymore. At least my appearance fee is 300,000 yuan now. Enough for me to buy you a camera, even if you throw it off the 5th floor. Her tears and laughter burst out at once. She was crying and laughing at the same time, covering her face, her shoulders shaking hard. I walked off the stage. I went up to her and crouched down. Linzu, stop talking. Her voice was thick and unclear. The tears had smeared her makeup. I finished the words I had not said before. Shut up. I'm not shutting up anymore. I've kept my mouth shut long enough in this life. I pulled out the note I'd kept in my pocket for 2 years. Its corners were frayed. The ink had faded. I placed it in her palm. Back in college, when you played Summer Wind, you hit more than a dozen wrong notes. This time, you did not miss a single one. You practiced for 2 years. Her fingers clenched around the note, so tightly her knuckles cracked. I practiced for 2 years too, I said, practicing how to say, stay. The livestream chat disappeared. Not because no one was posting, but because the servers had crashed again. Backstage, the showrunner shouted into the walkie-talkie. Tech team, servers, get me more servers. Sell my car if you have to, just add them. Lindsay stood up from her chair. She was taller than me. In heels, she was half a head taller. She looked down at me. Tears were still streaming down her face, but the corners of her mouth curved. Then she punched my chest. 2 years. She choked up, saying each word one by one. Zhang Feng. 2 years. You made me wait 2 years. I know. You know nothing. I know nothing. She snorted out a laugh, crying and laughing at the same time. She grabbed my Armani collar. This coat isn't yours, is it? Zhao Ming's. You came to confess, and you do not even own a suit. Broke and still had the nerve to show up. Because you were here. She let go of my collar, then threw herself into my arms. With such force, she almost knocked me, Armani and all, flat on my back. Jingchen was screaming beside us, her voice cracking. Zhou Ying was applauding like crazy. Lin Man was crying, laughing, and filming at the same time. The showrunner had gone silent. He was wiping tears behind the camera. Zhao Ming's messages kept buzzing in my pocket. I didn't look, because my hands were busy, hugging Lindsay back, very tightly, afraid that if I let go, she'd leave. Zhang Feng. She buried her face in the crook of my shoulder. Her voice muffled. My 56,000 yuan. What? You still owe me 56,000. I'm holding you right now, and you're talking money. With interest, it's 62,000. Unbelievable. This woman. I really do still love her. A week later, Jingchen's scandal set off. An 8.5 magnitude earthquake online. The notarized audio recording was verified by authoritative media outlets and confirmed to be Jingchen himself. The transfer records for the paid trolls were pulled by the Economic Crime Investigation Unit, involving more than 2 million yuan. Zhang Feng appeared on camera for an interview and laid out in full how Jingchen's team had, 3 years earlier, planned and carried out the online abuse against Chen Haoran. On the third day after the evidence came out, Jingchen's management studio released a statement. It admitted there had been a management lapse, but 6 hours later, the statement was deleted because the comments were all mocking the management lapse. What you personally ordered is called a management lapse. All of his brand partnerships were terminated within a week. The drama he was filming had to recast his role in an emergency. Endorsement brands pulled all his promo materials overnight. His Weibo followers dropped from 30 million to 8 million, and for million of those were new people there to trash him. A reporter caught him outside his company building. In the photo, Jingchen was wearing a mask and a cap, hunched over, walking fast. When the reporter called his name, his steps faltered for a beat. Then he walked even faster. Chen Haoran posted on Weibo. 3 years. Thanks to everyone who helped me. This time, I really mean it. The photo was a bowl of beef noodles with triple chili. The top comment read, Haoran, come back. It got 780,000 likes. I reposted it for him. No caption. The repost said enough. As for me, the live stream for the finale of the dating reality show hit 120 million viewers. 120 million. 8 times the show's highest record since it began. The director called me and cried 3 times. The first was to thank me for creating a ratings miracle. The second was to ask if I could come back next season. The third was to tell me his car really had been sold to pay for more servers, so he couldn't make it. I said, why? I have a girlfriend now. It would be weird to go on a dating reality show. Fair enough. Zhao Ming got me 7 ads. One of them was actually for a camera brand. The concept was that it wouldn't break even if you threw it off the 5th floor. When Lindsay saw that ad concept, she chased me up to floors, ready to hit me. Trending topics. Lindsay chases Zhang Feng up to floors. 340 million views. On Weibo. The Weibo super topic for Zhang Feng and Lindsay passed 10 million followers. Every day, people dig up old posts about me in there. Photos of me and Lindsay from our college days. No idea who unearthed them. The hottest one was Lindsay in costume. The one where she'd fallen onto the grass, cursing. The top comment said, now that's a real best actress. Zhao Ming is my agent now. We split the earnings 70-30. 70 for him, 30 for me. I told him, have you lost your mind? He said, wear 10 Armani outfits before you talk. I still haven't returned that suit to him, because Lin Zhu confiscated it. Her reason was, you used this suit to win me back. This suit belongs to me. When Zhao Ming heard that, he stayed silent for 3 minutes. Then he sent two words, fair enough. Chen Haoran made his comeback after his agency invited him back. In his comeback interview, a reporter asked what he wanted to say to Lu Jingchen. He thought for a moment, nothing much to say. I don't hate him anymore. Hating someone is exhausting. You might as well use that energy to eat 2 more bowls of noodles. That line shot up the trending topics. The topic was called, if you're going to hate someone, you might as well eat 2 bowls of noodles. As for Lin Zhu and me, I moved into her apartment. She bought me another Canon 5D4, the same model as the one she threw downstairs back then. When I unboxed it, she stood beside me, looking a little guilty. Is this compensation? Including interest? It does. What about emotional damages? Say one more word and I'll take this one too. I'm not saying another word. I hung the camera around my neck and aimed it at her. She instinctively smoothed her hair. What are you doing? Taking your picture. I'm not wearing makeup. You don't need any. I just got up. My hair looks like a chicken coop. It looks good. She froze for a second. The tips of her ears turned red. The shutter clicked. In the photo, Lin Zhu was in pajamas, with messy, tousled hair. She was holding a slipper. She had clearly been about to throw it at me. Her mouth was open, as if she were saying, delete it right now. Her eyes were curved with sleepiness and a smile. Still grumpy from just waking up, and smiling too. I set that photo as my phone wallpaper. Then I made my first Weibo post. The image was that photo. The caption was just one line. No more staying up late. I've got someone looking after me now. 3 minutes later, the servers crashed again. When Lin Zhu saw that Weibo post, she chased me around the whole apartment with a slipper. 3 laps around, she stopped to catch her breath, leaning on the doorframe and glaring at me. Zhang Feng. The whole internet saw that. That was me right after waking up. My image. My reputation. I walked over, took the slipper from her hand. Lin Zhu. What? Don't stay up so late again. Her lips parted. Her nose turned red. Then she punched my chest. The force was exactly the same as 2 years ago. Zhang Feng. You're really annoying. Super annoying. So annoying. She lunged into my arms a second time. This time, I held my ground. She didn't bowl me over. Sunlight streamed in through the window. It lit up her tousled hair. Golden highlights. My phone kept buzzing on the coffee table. Probably Zhao Ming messaging again. I didn't look. I had a whole Lin Zhu in my arms. That was enough.